Alright, hi guys. This is how to do an oil change. This is called a old school oil change, hot old school oil change, when I say. I'm working on my Chevy Twacker, which is a Geo Tracker. This is pre-95-ish. Now this is what I want to get into. Everybody says go conventional, go synthetic oil. You can do your oil change every 5,000. Here's the problem about that. Even if you went to synthetic oil, a lot of these old cars cannot run it because it's too thin of oil. When synthetic gets hot, it's more designed for the variable valve timing motors that requires thin oil to get through the passage really quick. Conventional oil, like what I got here, by Quaker. We've been running Quaker for over 20 years. We have never had problem with this. And add in a bottle of STP oil treatment. All this STP oil treatment is, it says this contains zinc anti-wear agent, reduce oil burning, lubricates moving parts. Basically everything it says is true, but the biggest thing is on cold starts. A lot of people would take your vehicle, throw the key in the ignition, stone cold motor, fire it up, and freaking drop in reverse to drive wherever they're parked at and take off on a cold motor. Well, this right here will help that out. Now, I recommend let the car warm up. If you're in that freaking much of a hurry, well, I guess you don't want a car long. I normally let my car in the summer sit for 5 minutes running. That way there, the oil is nice and warmed up, hot. It's not too hot. I mean, it gets up to like quarter before it even hits full warmth. And in the winter, I let it sit for 20 minutes. Let my car get nice and warm inside. Let the oil, because this oil gets thick in the wintertime. And in the reason why I also let them warm up, because there ain't no oil to top end. That's where you get your rod knocks, your oil burning, your lifters chattering. That ain't all good signs. This right here is not the cure, the fix for all. This just help the moving parts so they're not starting dry. You still have to let your car warm up. But we've been running this crap for over 20 years. My dad has. And I'm a good old Fram and a thing of a gallon of Quaker State's what we always ran on our old cars. Now when you get into this Lincoln here, Lincoln Continental, that requires special Ford oil. That's a different video for a different day on that one. My Pontiac Grand Prix over there, I run the same thing. Not 10W30, but 5W30 with a bottle of STP and a frame oil filter. That's all we run. So 10W30 is for your older cars, 5W30 is for your newer cars. Tracker really don't matter. You put the synthetic in it. With this vehicle over 20 years, just hit 20 years old, you're going to have oil leaks from hell. Just to make it simple. I've ran synthetic and all it does is go right through the freaking seals because they ain't really that wise. Without further ado, I'm going to show you how to do an oil change the old school way. Oh, and if you guys have to lift up a vehicle, use a good jack and jack stands. You guys might see this Harbor Freight jack. I would not recommend that. The freaking bolt has broke for lift handle. I would not recommend using these jacks too well. Definitely you're going to be under it. Like I said, low profile jack stands. These are nice, heavy duty metal ones. Do not use the plastic junk ones. Here's my regular steel ramps you see me use all the time. Pay the money, please guys, please buy metal ramps. I have seen two of my friends get almost crushed because they used plastic ramps. And I got another set of metals. I got 2 metal ramps. We're going to be picking up a 3rd set in about a week or 2. So please guys, please use metal, no plastic. And please use a better jack than your Harbor Freight. I have an old Craftsman jack around here somewheres and I don't see it at this point in time. And do not use these cheap jack stands. These cheap flimsy things. I have a set of good jack stands and a good jack, and I cannot find either of them. So when I do it, I'll do a proper video for you guys. Here's another thing to know: when you're jacking up a vehicle, a car, if I may say, there's normally, well, this is 4-wheel drive, but normally you'll see a cross member here. I highly recommend to lift a car, is subframe or a cross member, before you ever go and try jack on a frame, on a pinch weld frame. Now this is a tracker, it's got a solid frame. I'll lift there, I'll lift there. On a rear pig, it won't hurt it. On any of the frame, but a car, it's got a pinch weld. A car on a pinch weld will, my intrigue literally has no pinch weld. I jacked it up, the freaking jack went through almost through the floorboard. Thank God I didn't have the car up off the ground when it did it. So please, do not jack it by the pinch weld. Please. I've seen too much crap from friends that are working on cars. So please, do not. And if you can, if you got a drain bolt that sits here, do not jack the car up. Make sure the engine's nice and warm. I mean literally warm. I mean like almost just take it for, let her warm up, take her for a drive and bring her home. Let her sit for a few minutes and then drain the oil. Do not drain the oil when it's cold. You will not get all the oil out. You'll still have sludge in the bottom of the oil pan. Another thing is, if you got a drain plug in the back of the oil pan, put her up on ramps or jacks. Jack and jack stands. If you got in the front, do not jack it up. If you can, put the rear up on ramps, or jack the rear up where you can still access the drain plug here, so the oil comes out. You want all the oil to come out of the oil pan. We'll see if I can get you guys in the shot. Yep. Do not use a wrench, use a socket. Now I'm using a long 18-inch ratchet because I don't know who did the last oil change on this. So, and they don't have to be on super tight like that wasn't. Now be very careful when you're doing this, because this is hot oil now. And I can't get my ratchet off, my socket. There it is. Now take your socket, once you get it broke loose, reach up under it. And do not believe that oil is bad for your hands, because oil will not hurt your skin. Now hot oil will burn you. And you can see how nasty, all that oil is still pretty clean. It's got a little bit of mileage on her, but what I think happened is somebody changed the oil on this tracker when I got it and did not change the oil filter. So you see how it's flowing out nice? You want to just flow out like water. So I'm gonna let you guys go now. Alright guys, I've been letting her drip for a while. I just got the oil filter off. I got a little problem, but now she's just dripping. So you just put the drain plug back in. Do not over tighten this drain plug. You do this, you do not want to over tighten this drain plug. I won't even use my 18-inch bar to do it. Well, yeah, well, because I know what I'm looking for. Well, all you want to do is snug it. So, let me see if I can get you guys to see this. Just snug it. Just put a little bit of pressure on it if you feel it. That's all you want to do to that drain plug. Just to make sure, go back, check it one more time. If it ain't moving, it's good enough. You don't have to change that crush washer, you don't have to do nothing unless it's peeling oil out when you start it up. Well, I got other problems, so I'm going to be back in a second. Alright guys, here's the problem. This is why you do not take your car to a car Quick Lube or Walmart's or Jiffy Lube or Quaker, or whatever you call those quick change oil lubes. This is adapter for the fuel filter, oil filter. This fuel filter, oil filter, has not been changed in a long time. I'm assuming where I got it from, they put a cup on it. What I mean by cup, I mean those little guys back there, because you can do that to these filters. Put a cup on it, unscrewed it, found out, hey, it's not, the whole thing came out. So what they did, they dumped it. I looked inside of here with a flashlight, and the filter's blacker than this piece of rubber here. This will not come out. I've tried. I got me a set of good pliers, pliers. I cannot get it out, and I'm pushing with my full might, and I cannot get it to move. This is why you do not take your car to a freaking oil change. So now, I'm screwed. That ain't moving out. So, a little lesson. Change your own oil. If not, you may have one of these instances here. They might have said, oh, we put a new filter on and never change the oil filter because the freaking morons put it on too tight, wherever you guys go. Just a little FYI for you guys, not to do that. So, here's why you're not supposed to take your car to an oil change. Do it yourself and take it to a Replico dealer. The one that, if this happens, say if one of these days you had a relative that knows how to work on a car, decides to do your oil change, just pulls out, well, you can go back onto the dealer and they can get in trouble and they will have to be replacing this whole shaft. This shaft right here, I can't get it out of this oil filter because they jammed it on there, over tightened it on the block. So this right here is a prime example why you don't take your car to an oil change. So I'll see you guys later then. Bye. Alright guys, I only got 4 minutes of camera. I got my new oil filter. I got that TP fixed for now. I'm going to show you. Just put a little bit of oil on your finger. It ain't going to hurt you. Put it around the oil filter. It's still wet. Over there it can seal. Take your oil filter. Don't cross thread it. Spin it down by hand. Mine's going to go on rough a little bit. Screw it down until it stops. Give it a quarter turn by hand. Grab your wrench and just gently quarter turn. Over there, that keeps that filter from falling off. So now my fill's back there. So all you do is add your if you want to run STP oil treatment, go ahead. I recommend it. Best stuff on the market. STP did a good job. And then Quaker State, that's what I'm running. Don't buy Penn's. Penn's recycled engine oil is really bad. Any type of recycled oil, stay away from it. Get a non-recyclable oil that has not been refined. Because if you recycle your oil, there's metal stuff that breaks down and all that. I've had a vehicle, my dad had a vehicle, both blew the motor on Penn's. So be careful of that. So that's how you do an old school oil change. See you guys later. See ya. Bye.